And Julie, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Kim, for inviting me. I welcome everybody. It's nice to see a nice group of people. It's always fun to see other students from other areas and other programs. I am Julie. I have just finished my 31st year here at the college as an instructor. Where has the time gone? I know I teach in the activity director program. I have been teaching online for over 15 years. And then I have also, my other hat that I wear here at the college is our D2L campus trainer. So not only do I work with our faculty on developing their curriculum to be delivered online. And of course, during COVID times, that was a real busy time, but I also help them in the transition of curriculum to online, to using D2L, how to use D2L and that sort of thing. But I also, work with our students in doing sessions like this to learn how to use D2L and that sort of thing. Please, at any time, if you have questions, don't hesitate to put it in the chat. I'm pretty casual, laid back. We'll go with the flow here. Your questions are really important. More than likely, other folks will have questions too, so don't hesitate to ask. Stephanie and Kim both know how to get a hold of me. They know my email, so don't hesitate to, if you have questions or you need to reach out to me afterwards at a later time, please feel free to do so, and Kim or Stephanie can get you in contact with me. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we are going to get you started in taking a look at D2L. Stephanie, thumbs up. You can see my Ridgewater College page. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to kind of start from the very basics. My intentions today is to kind of go over the basics of D2L. Desire to Learn is our learning management system platform. Ridgewater College, along with the Minnesota State colleges and universities system-wide, has been using D2L for, well over 15 years. It is very across the system. So if you're taking a class at Ridgewater College, you may go to, if you take a class at St. Cloud State University, Mankato, Normandale, Inver Grove, whatever Minnesota State colleges and university campus you might go to, you will see D2L. That is the platform that we use. So it should be very, very familiar, very consistent for you. So how do you get to D2L? I'm going to start with the very basics, and as we get into D2L, I'm going to talk about some of the basic things that you will most likely see in your course as you go through your program here at Ridgewater. Now, please keep in mind, instructors will do things differently. You may see things set up and laid out a little bit differently according to the instructor, even within different instructors within a program. Or for instance, if you're in some of the general eds or liberal arts classes, there's different instructors that will use it differently. They may use some tools and they may use other tools. So just know that it might look and feel a little bit differently, but basically everything is pretty much the same within D2L. So how do you get to D2L? Well, ridgewater.edu. Hopefully you've had a chance to take a look at the website. This is your login page. This is where you're going to go, ridgewater.edu. You're simply going to click on the logins at the top of the page, and then you will see D2L Brightspace, among other types of login options here for you as well. So we're just going to focus on D2L Brightspace. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. When you get to D2L Brightspace, you're going to sign in with your STAR ID. Now, keep in mind that a lot of times what will happen is students will email me and say, I can't get into D2L. I don't know. It was working and now it's not. You have to remember that your STAR ID password will expire every, I don't know if it's 60 or 90 days or something like that. So most likely, if you can't, at some point in time, you can't get into your D2L or any of your other logins, it could very well be that your password expired. So you will need to go in and reset that. You will get notifications at your Ridgewater email or whatever email you signed up with your STAR ID at, that your password is going to expire in so many days. They will give you some notifications. So pay attention to that, okay? Because that's usually 9 out of 10 times, that's usually the issues as to why students cannot get in. So sign in with your star ID. I've already saved mine, so I can just, it automatically calculates it into that. So sign in. What will happen when you sign into D2L is you're going to have this landing page. It's a D2L homepage. You are not in your class at this time. This is just the landing page of where you're at. What I would suggest you do, and I'm going to switch it over to a student view, is make sure that you pay attention to any announcements here on this homepage. Oftentimes we will put up their announcements for financial aid information, survey information, a variety of different things that might be, you know, college-wide information announcements. So pay attention, that will change occasionally as announcements come about. The other thing that I want to show you on your homepage here when you log in, and I'm going to scoot you guys over here, is that you will see, the stuff out of the way here, you will see student help videos. So at any point in time after we get through this session, you say, oh gosh, what was it that Julie said about, or how do we do something? These are all great little short videos, usually anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes long, on how to do some of the things we're going to talk about. So this is a really, really great resource for you. You may have to scroll down a bit on this page because they're going to be at the very bottom on the right-hand side, but these student help videos will connect you right to how to do some of these basic D2L tools like assignments, how to upload your assignments, how to participate in discussions, how to look at your grades, and so on. So take note of that. So what you're going to do then, once you on your landing page, your home page, is you're going to, under my courses, you're going to see, if this is your first semester, you will only see your fall semester. If you have, as you move forward, you will be able to scroll through and see other semesters here. But right now it will be kind of defaulted to your fall semester and listing the fall semester courses that you have here. But I'm going to go up and I'm going to use a practice course for here. But you'll see all your courses listed that you are registered for, and you will see when they start and when they are available. So you may not be able to click on anything until it actually is the start of the semester. So sometimes people or students email say, I can't get into my course. Well, it doesn't start till August 22nd. So just keep that in mind. The exception to the rule of that is if your instructor opens the course earlier, that is totally up to each individual instructor. So just keep that in mind as well. The other thing that I want to show you up here on the top, on the right-hand side, you'll see my picture and my name. We're going to go ahead and click on my name, and I want to show you a few things that you might want to, you know, kind of look at and pay attention to. Under profile, profile is an area where you can add your picture. You can add a nickname. If you have a Twitter account, you can add that in there. You can add your LinkedIn name. You can also, any contact information you want to include in here. So what is nice is the picture where you put in here, it will show up in the class list. It will show up in the discussion area so that people can see your picture and your name and who you are. It's a nice little feature that you can, you know, connect with your students. And then also your instructor will be able to see you and see a picture of yourself. The other thing I want to show you is notifications. Pulse app. If you are familiar with the Pulse app, if you're not, I would definitely get a hold of it. You want to get it on your cell phone, either for Apple or Google Play or Android, either one. The Pulse app is basically an app that is a D2L app, and it will notify you of various things that happen within your course. It's just a communication tool. For instance, if an instructor will post an announcement, it will automatically get pushed to your app and it will notify you on your phone that there was an announcement. If your instructor has posted a grade for one of your assignment, that grade will get pushed to your app and you will see that grade that you got on that assignment or that quiz or whatever assessment tool. You will also be able to set up your notifications, and I'm going to show you that in a minute, of what you want to be notified of. For instance, you can be down here under notifications and you're going to want to do it under the SMS. Like, for instance, if you want assignment that is due, at least you want to get 2 days notice for an assignment that's due, you can select that you want to be notified of that. If you want to know when a quiz is due, when something is uploaded, whatever, you can, not everything is available for updates, only the ones that are, can be notified. So you might want to go through and look at some of these, and you can select those to make sure that you are notified when something happens in your course. This is a really, really great tool to stay on top of things. You can go into your calendar on what that's in the D2L course and look at when things are due. So it's really, really important that you stay up to date and keep connected with what's going on in your course. So I would strongly suggest you download the app. It's free, and either in the App Store or the Google Play Store. The other thing that you can do is you can set your email notifications. Right now, it should be defaulted to your Ridgewater email address. You can change your email settings to whatever you want. If you have a Google or a Yahoo account, that's fine. You can do that, whatever you want. Just know that any emails that go out in D2L will go to that address. So whatever you set it to be. So those are a few things under notifications that you want to pay attention to keep you up to date and stay on top of things. And then the account settings is the last one. The last couple of things that you can do is there is now an option to add pronouns. If that is something that you wish to do, you can allow just by clicking on it and then adding your pronoun in this box here. So that is something that you have the option of doing. If you like to have larger fonts, you can set your font size to a little bit bigger. And then the last thing, I think most of you are probably from Minnesota, but if by chance you go on vacation, you're in a different time zone and you don't want to miss assignment dates, you can change your time zone to wherever you are. And so then your D2L due dates and everything that has a connection to the calendar will adjust according to the time zone that you are in. So those are a few things that I wanted to show you under your name, and then go ahead and click on some of those and you can explore a little bit. Any questions so far with that? I'm going to stop and see if the girls have, if you can share anything.
Nothing's come in yet, Julie.
Okay, awesome. So let's go back to that home page. Let's go back into a course. How do I get back to that home page, that landing page? You can always click on the little home button right here on the very left-hand side. When I click on that, it takes me back to that home landing page. I'm not in any courses yet, but I'm on that home landing page. So again, whatever course is listed here, you can just simply click on the blue link and that'll take you into that course. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually go into a practice course that I have. So I'm actually in Julie's D2L training. Let's pretend that this is a real course. And so a couple of things that you're going to pay attention to, and I'm going to view it as a student so that you can see what it looks like, because my view as an instructor is a little bit different. So you will notice that there are some icons up here on the upper top. These are notifications. If you've got a little orange dot, that means you've got a message, an alert, an email, or something like that. So all you need to do is just click on that and it will update you. It will look, you can look at what alerts or things that have come through. Same thing as what's on the Pulse app. So course name here, this is one way you can always come back to the course landing page, not the home landing page, but this course home page. If by clicking on this title, it will come back to this page. What I would definitely pay attention to, a couple things here on the home page of a course, is the announcement. Most faculty, almost all faculty will have some kind of an announcement. Some faculty are really good about posting weekly announcements, daily announcements, important information. When you log into your course, each individual course, pay attention to, are there any announcements on this page? What do I need to be doing? What do I need to read? As you can see in this course, One of the courses that I teach, I have a lot of information here, but this is that very first day of class. Start here, read the stuff first. This will help you get acclimated to the course. So you want to pay attention. Do your instructors have any kind of announcements listed? Okay. Also on this homepage, I have instructor information. Now, again, every instructor might be a little bit different on what they put on their homepage. I always encourage them to have the announcement and at least the instructor information so my students can get a hold of me. I have the calendar so I can see upcoming events as a student, what's coming up, when our things are due, when modules are opened up, when discussions are due, when quizzes are due, and so on and so forth. So take a few minutes, take a look at your homepage of your course. How is it laid out? What does it look like? What kind of information do I need to be aware of? So let's then talk about the navigation bar. And this right here across the top where it says materials, communication, assessment, and resources and help is what we call the navigation bar. I'm going to go through several tools within this navigation bar that you will most likely be using in your courses. Again, remember, every instructor is going to use things a little bit differently and that. So just, you need to take some time on that first day to kind of explore, look around. What do they call it? How do they use it? What does it mean for you? So under materials is generally the materials of the class. This is where your course materials are going to be located. Generally under the content, okay? There are some other tools that are listed there, but content is where you're going to find the majority, most of your content of your course. So I'm going to go ahead and click on content, and it takes me to a whole new area. So the content is kind of like a book. You know, when you open up a book, you're going to have a table of contents. And that's what this left-hand column is right here. Basically, your table of contents. You can see in general, I have 59 items in my table of contents. But when I break it down under course information, I have 10. This is like a chapter then. Course information is like a chapter. Getting started activities is a chapter. Unit 1 is a chapter, and so on. So when I click on my table of contents, you can see I have all of my table of contents right here in the middle. If I scroll down, it's a long list. But if I just want to go to the chapter of my course information, I'm going to click on course information. I'm in this chapter, course information. Make sure you read this information here. And now I can see all of my documents that are listed under course information for my students. Now, the blue link means that there's a link to that information. And in this case, this is a PDF document. This one right here is a web page, another PDF. And so you can kind of get an idea of what they are. So you can see I have 10 topics or 10 things in this course information chapter. I click on the first one, fall schedule. When I click on it, I get this document, which is a PDF document. It's this course schedule that I provide for my students. I know that's what it is because that's the title up here. Now, when I go back, there's a couple different ways I can maneuver through those 10 objects, those 10 pieces. I'm going to go back again, click on the course information. Remember, here are those 10 things. Now look at how this changed. 1 out of 10 topics completed. I know I have looked at this fall schedule because I got a check mark. These dots right here means that I have not looked at these pages yet. I have not looked at the general course outline. I have not looked at the introduction and welcome. So that's what those mean. So if you're missing something or you're wondering where it is, oh, I haven't looked at it yet. So I'm going to go back to this fall schedule and I'm going to show you how to work through these different 10 items. So here's that very first one. I wanted to go back. You could either go on the breadcrumb trail right up here at the top, table of contents. I'm in the course information chapter. Here's that fall schedule right here. I can go to the next one, the next page, by either clicking on the forward arrow or the back arrow. So if I go forward, I go to that next page that was listed of those 10. oh, what was that schedule again? I need to go back to that. I can go back with using the back arrow, and I'm back to that fall schedule again. So I can go back and forth between those documents within that section. I can also go and use this little tab here on the left-hand side. Does everybody see that? It kind of pops out there where my cursor is. If I click on that expand side panel, here's all of those 10 items in that course information section. Okay, so now you can see I've been on the schedule, I've been on the outline. Here's the next one I need to go to. So I can click on it here and it takes me there. I can go back, takes me to that back one. Go forward. I can keep moving through forward. So I'm going to go back to my name, my breadcrumb trail up here. And now you can see these are all of I was just in the course information. Any questions so far? Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, I'm hoping. So now if I go to the next chapter, here's the getting started activities. This is another chapter in a sense that I'm using, that I organize my content. You can see that as a student, I have not completed any of the topics. So I have some work to do to go through and look at all of these pages. Okay, so now that's just some kind of basic course information. Now I'm going to get into the meat and potatoes of my course. I have, as an instructor, designed my courses to be outlined as units and modules. And I want to draw attention to this because your instructors different instructors do things differently. They may use units and modules like I have. They may use week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. They may go according to chapters, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So this is why I say go back and take a look at and become familiar with how the layout is. Hopefully your instructors are very consistent in the way they lay it out, but every instructor will be a little bit different. So I've got my main unit and I've got it broken down into 7 sub modules within this unit. Now, something I want you to pay attention to is if I'm going to go into my very first unit, here is all of the information that they need to know about this week, this unit, this module 1 of this unit. Here are all of the links that they need to go into. Here's a video that needs to be watched. Here's their assignments. But do you notice that now the next module, because I do things on a weekly basis, that module 2, if I click on module 2 as a student, I can't click on any of these. These aren't blue. How come? How come I can't get to these? I want to do these and I can't get to any of these. Well, one of the things you have to pay attention to is that when it starts right here, you can see that this module 2 does not start until August 30th. So if I scroll down here, you can see that it says right here, August 30th, module 3 is September 6th, and module 5 is September 13th. So keep that in mind. You may not be able to get to some of your content because your instructor has it paced or scheduled to be released at a certain date. So sometimes I get students that get kind of freaked out. I can't get to it. I can't click on it. There's nothing there. Well, look at the date. You may not be able to access it for a particular date. So again, we look back at, how it's laid out. The blue links will always take you to whatever that link is in the content. So how you find your content for the class? Oftentimes, again, your instructors will have, syllabus and all of that kind of course information in materials content. Always go there for where you're looking at your content. And so this is a nice little tool here. It keeps me on track to make sure that I have, looked at everything. I haven't completed all the topics for this particular area. I want to go back and take a look at that. Okay, so that's content. Materials, content, where you find your course information. Let's go to communication. This is another tool that instructors will use. Announcements will always take you back to all of the announcement that your instructors have posted in the course. So this should look familiar. This is what you saw on the course landing page, all the announcements. The discussions. Discussions is another tool that you may be part of as part of the part of your course. Not depending on the program, depending on the instructor. Some instructors don't use discussions. You may not even see anything there. Other programs use discussions quite a bit. So you want to, make sure that you know what is required of you. So discussions is basically a way to communicate with others in the class and particular topics, particular issues, whatever it might be according to your course. So to participate in a discussion, the blue link will always take you to the actual discussion room. So if I scroll down here, here's the introduction. If I scroll down here, here are some of the topics that my students will participate in. Okay. So how you participate in it, you click on the blue heading. It's going to take you to the discussion room. And so it's blank right now. There's nothing there until I start a new thread. So this is what you need to do in order to participate in a discussion. You need to start a new thread. Why they call it thread, I don't know. It's a terminology that D2L uses. I guess because you start a thread or a post, and then people reply to your post, and it's all threaded and connected together until you start a new one. So it's kind of like, back and forth when you're texting each other. So we start a new thread. I'm just going to go ahead and type in something very specific. And always, it's very similar to sending an email with a subject heading and your body or your contact. And I'm just going to put that in there, and then all I need to do then is that visible? I want to make sure that you guys can see this. Stephanie, are you able to see my thing that's coming up?
I can see the who are you page.
Okay. So
okay, there we go. New post details.
There we go. Okay.
Yep.
Because sometimes with Zoom, it doesn't always pull up the current view. So what I did is I clicked on start a new thread, and then it brought up this new window. And then I'm going to put in here, just like a email you're going to send, put in the subject, hello, or my name is whatever, and then your body of your content here. So what's really nice is that you have the ability to, add a picture, you can do bullet points, you can do different colors, you can do a variety of different things. On this same post discussion, if this is something you want to follow, or you want to make sure that if you post a question to your fellow classmates or whatever, and you want to keep track of things, you can subscribe to this thread or this discussion topic, and you will always get updates when somebody has posted to this particular topic. If you want to add a file, like if there's a document or a picture or something like that, you can add a file. It's just like adding an attachment. So those are a few things to keep in mind with with a discussion. So then I'm just going to go ahead and click post. Okay. And then let's just make sure that. Okay. So now you should see my post down here that I just did. Okay. So that's how it kind of appears. So make sure that, you start a new thread to add to your discussion. If somebody wants to reply to me and share something or respond to me, all you need to do is click on my post, and then you can hit reply, and then it replies to me. So that's discussions. Oftentimes, like I said, your instructors will at least have an introductory discussion, but again, depending on your course, you may have more in-depth kind of participation in discussion topics and things. Also under also under communication, you will find email. You can email your instructor if you want, if that is something that you want to use email. Again, remember that email in D2L is outgoing only. You will not get email coming into D2L. It's outgoing only. So that means wherever it goes to, whatever you have it set up for, whether it be your Gmail or Ridgewater, that's where you need to check for that. Okay. So under assessments then, let's talk about assessments. Assessments, a couple key things here. Assignments we're going to look at. This is where you're going to submit your assignments, any kind of things that you need to submit for your grades or for your instructor. We're going to take a look at class progress. We're going to take a look at grades and quizzes. So let's take a look at assignments first. This is where you will submit your assignments for your instructors. Now, here's a little hint for you guys. What I would suggest you do is print this page, okay? Print this page out, because if you notice in the very right-hand column, this is the due date of when each one of these assignments is due. So it's a good little checklist. It's a good little tool to keep next to your planner, and that if you've signed up for the Pulse app and you say, notify me 2 days in advance when these assignments are due, it will do that. It will notify you September 3rd when this particular assignment is due. Okay. But this is always a good little tool to print out, so you've got that close to your planner. Okay, I'm going to show you a little demonstration of how you submit an assignment in the assignment folders, okay? So you can see that I have a practice assignment set up where we're going to go ahead and I'm going to submit something for you. So I'm going to click on that practice assignment. I am going to add a file. Now I have to know, where do I have that file saved? Is it on my computer or is it out on my OneDrive file? So whatever system you use to save your documents, you can either download it either from my computer or your OneDrive, okay? In this case, I have it saved on my desktop, a practice one. So I'm going to go ahead and click my computer. And then I'm going to go ahead and click upload. It said, go find my computer and let's upload. So I'm going to go to my desktop and I put Julie Reginick practice right here. This is one that I had put up on my desktop before. I'm going to just go ahead and click on that document. Oh, wait a minute. Can you guys see that? You probably can't see that, can you? Okay. So there's my document. I'm going to open it. And then, see, I don't like how this works back and forth with not being able to see everything. There we go. Okay, Kim, can you see that okay? Can you see where it says add a file? Okay, perfect. So you can see right here, then Julie Reginick practice. Here's the file that I said I wanted to upload. Now, the nice thing is that if you have more than one file you want to upload into the same folder, you can go back to upload and do it again. You can add more than one file to this document. Or you can say, oh, shoot, I grabbed the wrong one. That's not what I want. You can click on the X and it will remove that from that folder and you go grab the right one. Now, there's 3 opportunities for you to double check to make sure you've got the right document uploaded into the right assignment folder. And the reason why I want to draw this to your attention is I can't tell you how many times I have students either upload a blank document or they upload the wrong document. And once that due date is passed, guess what? You're out of luck. You can't submit anything in that folder. And so therefore you get no credit for it. So it's always a really, really good habit to get into, to double check to make sure you get the right assignment in the right folder correctly. So I can double check it here by just simply clicking on this document. And it's going to I can double check. Now, let me see if I can share that. So now when I clicked on it, I could actually open the document and see what I uploaded. It just had my name on it. Yep, that's the right one. Oops. Get back to sharing my screen here the right way. Okay. So I uploaded the correct one. I'm good to go. I'm going to go ahead and click add down at the bottom. And now I've added it. You can see it added it right here underneath the uploading. Second opportunity, you can click on it here as well and open it to make sure that you get the right one. Oh shoot, I got the wrong one. I can delete it or I can remove it right here again, as I did in the previous screen. So here's the second opportunity for you to double check to make sure that you got the right document. So now on this page, in this comment, you can write a message to your instructor saying, hi, Julie, here's my assignment. Hope you like it. Or, you know, whatever. This is not where you type your assignment information at. I tell you, I've had several students in the past that they thought this is where you type in the information for your assignment. It is not. This is just a comment box to your instructor. Okay, so I've uploaded my document. I've added a file. Here it is right here. I've double checked it's the correct one. Then I'm going to go ahead and click submit. Aha, file submission successful. Third opportunity, here it is right here. I can click on it again to make sure I got the wrong one or got the right one. Okay, if it's the wrong one, I can go back and I can upload more files. I can do it again. I'm done. Go ahead and click done. So now, if you look at that practice assignment, I have one submission, I have one file. Guess what I can do here? I can click on this and I can actually see my submission history right down here. Guess what I can do on this one? Fourth time, actually. I can actually open this document to make sure it's the right one. So there's no excuse for not knowing that, oh, I didn't know I had the wrong one. You can double check. Get in the habit of double checking to make sure. Okay. So assignments are good. I've got the right one. All is well. So if I go back to the assignment listing, assuming we could still see that.
Yeah, we can see it, Julie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I never know, especially when you open up another window, sometimes it doesn't look. Okay. So this is good. I'm right on track. I got things on the right folder. Everything is good. This score here will change once your instructor has looked at that document and provided a grade. You will then see that score pop right into here, 10 out of 10 or whatever your grade is for that score. As you go down through the rest of you can see what all the grade points or the point value is for each of the assignments. Once that instructor posts that score, that will pop into your Pulse app. You will get notified on your phone what that grade is for that particular assignment. Okay. So that's how you submit an assignment. I'm going to pause there and see if there's any questions about that, submitting an assignment. Feel free
Julie,
to.
oh, sorry. Julie, one just came in via private message. And the question is, are you allowed to resubmit stuff? Say that you didn't double check and realized you turned in the wrong one later, or is it up to your instructor?
Perfect. Great question. It is up to your instructor. Most of the time instructors have unlimited amount that you can upload. Sometimes it depends on the assignment. I'm thinking like maybe an English assignment or something like that. They may only allow you to upload one file. That's a setting that the instructors, put into when they set up the assignment folders. But yeah, that's why I say double check before you actually submit. Once you submit, you can still go, I can still go back and look at to make sure it's the right one. But before you actually hit that done or add, double check it at that point. That way you can still make a change before that. But I would say most of the time instructors have unlimited files that you can submit. So, but you want to double check with that with your instructor. But good question. Okay, so how you submit your assignments is under assessment and then assignment submission folders. I'm going to now take a look at class progress. Just a quick thing about class progress here is that I can take a look at all of my things that I have going on in this class, from grades to content to discussions. I can kind of do a glimpse of how am I doing. If I click on grades, I don't have anything graded yet. If I click on discussions, I can see that under introductions, I created one thread. I haven't replied to anything, but you can kind of see at a glimpse, how you're doing in all of these things. Quizzes, obviously I don't have any quizzes done, but I can see where my quiz scores are here. So it's kind of a good little tool to help you know what your progress is. Your instructor will see the same version, will see the same thing. Grades. Let's take a look at grades because obviously that's an important part. Here again, I would suggest to print this page out. Now keep in mind the difference between the assignments and the grades. Grades is going to have everything that's graded in the course, from assignments to discussions to quizzes to whatever you're getting graded on. Whereas the assignment folders are just assignments that get submitted into that folder. So yes, it's a good thing to print that one out because you've got due dates, but grades is also another important thing to print out, because you can see it's not only got the assignments, but here I've got the discussion participation for my students and the quizzes. So it's everything that they get graded on. So this is also a good little checklist. What I would suggest and what I tell my students is halfway through the course or periodically every couple of weeks, go back and take a look at your grades and say, I wonder how come I don't have a grade for XYZ assignment. You can always double check with your instructors, and guess what? Instructors are humans too. Sometimes I forget to publish the score or something like that. And so it's a good little reminder for me to go back and take a look at, oh, okay, I forgot to hit publish, and so we're good to go. So it's always good to kind of just make sure you kind of keep track of all of the grade things that you've got going on. Okay. And then quizzes. You more than likely will have quizzes in your class. Some do, some, most of them do, most instructors do. But so how you get to a quiz is very simply by clicking on the quiz. Right now, I cannot get into, I will not be able to take Unit 1, Quiz 1, because it's not open until September 19th. Now, a couple things about quizzes. If I click on that, I can't start quiz because it's not available yet. If I go back to, let's see if I can go to this course information quiz. Yep, this one I can't even start yet either because the due date isn't there. But what I want you to know is that when you are ready to take a quiz, make sure you know how much time you have to take the quiz, how long it is. Hopefully your instructor will let you know that ahead of time if it's, a 10-question quiz and you've got 10 minutes or whatever it is. Because once you start that quiz, you cannot stop and say, oh, I'm going to go throw in a load of laundry, or I'm going to go pick the kids up from football practice. You cannot stop and come back. Most of the time you will have one attempt. You start it and you stop it. You cannot stop and come back and finish it at a later time. You're locked out, okay? So make sure you know what that is and what are the directions and the instructions for taking that quiz, okay? And make sure you always have a backup plan. Know when that quiz is due. For instance, this first quiz is due at 11:59 p.m. I suggest to my students, don't start that quiz at 11:30 p.m. if it's due at 11:59, because Murphy's Law. And most of you probably know what Murphy's Law is. If something's going to go wrong, it will. So make sure that you have a good plan in place. Make sure that you have a good computer. Make sure that the kids are not bleeding or anything like that. You've got them in another room and they've got private time that you can concentrate and look at that quiz. Now, a couple things to note. Depending on your program, not all programs, there may be a proctoring process in place, what we call honor lock, which means that and I believe the nursing program uses it, and maybe some other programs as well, is that you need to have certain parameters in order to take the quiz. You need to have a camera in front of you. You cannot look away. You cannot move. You cannot, get up and leave the computer. There's certain parameters. So make sure that you are familiar with what is required of you for your program or for that quiz. Your instructors should be providing you that information. They will provide you that information of what you need to know in order to take the quiz. Not all programs are like that, so don't get freaked out about it. So not all programs are like that, but there are some programs, especially if there's accreditation process in place, nursing, vet tech maybe, that they use this honor lock, where you need to be in a quiet room, you need to have a camera, you need to show your ID and all this kind of stuff, because you're going to be monitored. So just make sure that you are aware of time frames, attempt, make sure that you have quiet time, that you have uninterrupted time to take those quizzes. Okay, so we have 10 minutes. I have covered the basics. Again, to get back to my course homepage, I'm going to click on the title up here, and I'm going to go back to the course homepage. Okay, questions. I have some time left over for you. Can I demonstrate anything? Anybody have any questions? Oh, I know one thing I didn't cover was the resources and help. When you click on the resources and help, it will give you some direct links to some college resources like the bookstore, D2L help desk, FAQs, Office 365, campus tutoring, student handbook, student services. So if you're looking for some quick resources right there, you can go under the resources and help tool tab.
Julie, another message did come in, and they're just asking if you could give them any tips. Any pointers from your perspective?
Time management is huge. It is huge. You have to, if you are a fully online class, meaning that you don't come to campus, that everything is done online, you need to have a schedule. You need to make sure that, as if you were coming to class 3 times a week or a night class, set aside that same amount of time to dedicate to your course. Let me give you an example. My courses, the way I set it up is Monday to Monday. Every Monday morning, each module, remember I showed you the modules, is released for that week. I tell my students, you don't have to be on at Monday morning at 6 a.m., but set a routine where maybe you check in, set a plan for the week. What do I need to be working on? What's due this week? Keep a planner, keep a schedule. Make sure that you do that. And don't be afraid to ask for clarifications. One of the things that is going to happen with an online class is there's going to be a lot of reading. There's going to be a lot of stuff there. You have to be able to be willing to explore and look and read. Sometimes things are there. You just have to be able to read and not just skim through things. So that would be a couple tips right there, is to make sure that you read everything thoroughly. Not that you have to print everything out. A lot of people like to do that, and that's totally fine. But just make sure that you read those announcement pages that come up. What is your instructor saying? Make sure you have that Pulse app and make sure you get the notifications. That's really helpful. Other tips. Time management is probably the biggest thing. Just really make sure you dedicate certain time after the kids go to bed at night or whatever it is, to make sure that you spend some time every night, every week, come up with a plan.
Julie, another comment question. Could you show the group again where they can find their schedule for the next semester?
Show their schedule for the next semester, meaning,
Or maybe where they access their courses?
oh, okay, awesome, yeah.
And I'll ask for clarification if that's not right.
Okay, back on the home page. Scoot you guys over here. Back on the home page under my courses, when you log into D2L, you're going to come to this home page. Let me switch to, you're going to come to this home page, and under my courses, you will have a widget right here called my courses. Look for the tab that says fall 2022. When you, if this is your first semester, you will only see fall 22. As you can see, I've been here for a bazillion years, so I have lots of semesters under my belt here. So you will see more as you progress through your courses. So here is my fall of 2022, clicking on that. Here are my classes I have listed for fall of 2022 that I have access to. So you can either do that right there. You can pin your classes by clicking on the little pin. And when I pin it, I go up to this little waffle, and right there is my pinned class. So you can access it either through the little waffle menu up here on top, or you can just click on the actual right there. So when I click on that, this is my class for fall semester. I'm hoping that's the question that they were looking for, that they had.
I did ask to clarify, and they shared that they've been trying to find their new schedule since they were emailed a schedule change and wanted to see the new schedule, but I wasn't able to see it. So I'm wondering, the courses won't show up until day one of the semester, right? I'm thinking that might be.
Well, if they want a new schedule, I'm thinking they probably have to go to their e-services to see if there's a change. That's going to be your first step. And so you probably, I'm thinking you will not see anything here for probably another couple weeks, because students don't get generated into the D2L class list until I think it's, oh gosh, maybe it's 30 days out or a couple weeks out before the actual semester starts. So because of that changes, but if they're looking for a schedule change, I would look at their e-services first in your account to see what the schedule looks like there. And that's why if there's changes or anything like that, you don't see it in D2L quite yet until probably beginning of August, I'm thinking.
If someone needs help with that, with their e-services, I'd be glad to help with that. So you can just email me. I put my email in the chat, my email address.
And I think that did clarify, Julie. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and to do that, you just go back to your Ridgewater EDU and go under logins and then your e-services.
Can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
Where do I find the books that I need to order for my particular course? Because I have to order them by August 6th. Or, I mean, I can start ordering them on the 6th. And then probably the class hasn't opened up for me yet to click on, correct?
That is correct. So what you can do, and Stephanie and Kim chime in here, you would go to the bookstore and you can log in, and you need to create an account at the bookstore and then search for your class, and then it will have the book listed, and then you can put the book into your shopping cart and then order it from there. So that's where you would get your book, but you can't order books online until August 6th is when the bookstore is open and ready for that.
Okay,
you can
thanks.
also take your schedule to the bookstore and pick the books off the shelf now too. Plus, Stephanie, do you know when our bookstore book ordering workshop will be?
Yep, I was just going to share that information in the chat for anybody who's interested. I'm going to share here just the link to our student workshops main page. We do actually have a workshop coming up about, oops, I'm sorry, I just sent that directly to one person. We do have that workshop coming up at the end of July. It's on Wednesday, July 27th from noon to 1, same kind of format like this. So if you're able to be there for that, we'll walk you through kind of the ordering process, how to navigate the bookstore website. It will be recorded, same as all of these. So if folks are unable to attend, it will be found on our workshop website afterwards. Good question.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions about D2L or anything that I can help with? Like I said, Kim and Stephanie both know how to get a hold of me. I'm happy to Zoom with you. I'm happy to talk on the phone. Please reach out to me if you're struggling with D2L and you need help. I'm here to help. You just have to ask. I'm located on the Hutchinson campus. If you're on Hutchinson, you can pop into my office. I'm on the north end of the building. Zoom is probably the best because then I can see what you're doing and I can show you. So I'm here to help you. Just have to ask. And we want you to be successful. I want you to be successful and that. So thank you, Katie. I appreciate that. Hopefully this is, giving you a little sigh of relief when you go into that online class for the first time. I know it's scarier than a son of a gun, but you can do it. I know you can.
That was great, Julie. Thank you so much. I think every time I sit in on this too, I learn a new tip or trick or, something like that. But yeah, but thanks again, everybody, for joining. And just a reminder too, these are recorded. They'll be up on our workshops website here shortly. So you can always come back and review and refresh if there's content you'd like to do that with. Otherwise, again, I did put Julie's email in the chat. You can also find her on the ridgewater.edu website under contact us and just do a search. Or again, Kim and I did put our emails in the chat as well. If you were able to grab those, just let us know. We'll get you connected. So I'll keep this open for another minute. Otherwise, you're free to go if there are no other questions. But thanks for joining us today. Hopefully this was of great help and interest to you. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.